on the track, Dave. Cars colliding on the back straightaway. Alex Bowman, 23. Tony Stewart, more piling in. Is that Kyle Busch in the inside wall? 18 car all torn up.
We're done.
J.J. Yaley.
Straight to the garage, straight to the garage.
83 involved, but the big story here, Kyle Busch riding around in the back in the safe strategy mode, caught up when trouble happened in front of him, and now Dave Rogers and the Gibbs team have to go into their disaster drill to see what they can salvage out of this day.
Yeah, it's hurt. I mean, the rear clip's knocked off of it.
This probably comes from just a push that went wrong.
Yeah, it looks like Almirola got into the back of Yaley, just at the wrong little angle and just pushed him in the right side.
And Kyle Busch there in the smoke gets run into from behind, looked like by Austin Dillon, the 3 car. Looked like Kyle Busch was going to be fine, but when all the smoke, Austin Dillon not able to slow down and runs into the back of the 18.
Now, was the 43 being pushed by the car behind
Kyle
him?
Busch right there.
Yep.
He had slowed down and missed it and got run into by the 3 car.
Rickon behind you here, Rickon.
And now we have a crash. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. involved, Tony Stewart around. And that's Dale Earnhardt Jr. through the infield grass. Carl Edwards has some damage.
Kenseth just about had it missed, and looks like he ran into the 88.
Harvick,
Wow,
Johnson,
a lot of good
Kyle
race
Larson.
cars. I mean, a lot of good race cars. Guys in the points.
Wow.
We're seeing it for the first time. Oh, it looks like Stenhouse got a little bit squirrely. Stewart came down or came up and got into Jeff Gordon there. Looks like Stewart was just trying to avoid the 17.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to tell from that angle, but it looks like Stenhouse, as he gets squirrely, comes down into Tony a little bit. You see Stenhouse up next to the wall, sideways, comes down across, taps Stewart. Oh.
Yeah, no, Jeff was trying to avoid this 17 car and got into Tony Stewart.
Yeah, got in the right rear of Tony. Yeah.
Trevor Bayne, who won the 2011 Daytona 500, driving for the Wood Brothers, and that 21 car got turned around. And Danica may have gotten a little bit of nose damage, but she did a heck of a job getting through and not getting caught up.
And you watch Tony here. He didn't move much, man. He just hung right. He didn't move at all.
No.
And then he got hooked in the right rear into Ricky Stenhouse, but Tony was doing what he needed to do right there. He would have gotten by that without any problem if he wouldn't have gotten tagged by Jeff.
Trying to get past Paul Menard. A.J. Allmendinger spins. And Allgaier and Gilliland have a horrible collision right at the start-finish line.
Oh, that's bad.
It is David Gilliland's car that comes to a halt in flames, all but destroyed. Paul Menard, the 27, is the car that's backing up. Here comes Allmendinger to the inside.
Got the left side right down on the line down there, and the car gets a little squirrely with him, gets a little loose, and here we go.
And it's on.
Boy, when he comes down the hill and hits that
Allgaier.
51, and that turned him right into Gilliland when he did that. And it was a hard impact.
You saw Allgaier get clipped by Allmendinger, and watch that red car shoot across the track right into the path of David Gilliland.
And I guarantee you Gilliland was on it trying to get through it without getting in it, and he didn't quite make it, and that is unbelievable crash.
Oh, Denny Hamlin not going to get this one back.
Hard into the wall behind him. Matt Kenseth, Menard, Vickers, and more. Look at this pileup.
Only Stewart in the middle of that.
Keselowski, Truex. What a mess. Eric Almirola. Hard hit for Matt. Glad to see he's unbuckling.
Yeah, that right there shows just how hard.
A.J. Allmendinger got a piece of it. All right, what happened?
We see Denny Hamlin get sideways. Let's see if that's, well.
Like a couple of things going on right there. The 55,
yeah. Brian
cut off Matt Kenseth. I'm not sure if they're related or not.
Yeah, it looked like Vickers was trying to avoid maybe the 11 as he got really sideways. I don't know how Denny Hamlin saved that car once again. Let's see right here. You can see that 15 kind of sucks Hamlin around right there, and as Vickers was trying to avoid that, he moved up into Kenseth, and then that started all of this.
Yeah, that first looked like he may have cut off Matt Kenseth, but you can see he was out of control when he came across in front of Matt right there.
Yeah. Hard hit by Vickers.
Wow. It was all started by the 11 car getting sideways.
And that was probably caused by, and it's not something that Clint Boyer was trying to do. He just got up, saw a run to make it on the outside. He had done that a couple of times on restarts, and as he went by the 11, it just basically sucked the rear of that car around.
Ride with Brad Keselowski.
Still inside. Slow up high front. Back on, back it out, back it out, back it out, back it out.
Trouble turn one, head-on crash. Mason Mingus pounds the outside retaining wall. John West Townley is in it. Oh, half the field is now being taken out. Townley spins down to the bottom of the racetrack. A number of trucks involved. Sean Corr goes spinning. Parker Kligerman gets pounded. Half a dozen, more than that. Maybe 8 or 10 or 12 trucks all involved here at the bottom of the racetrack. A vicious lick and a couple of trucks on fire. Minor fires, but still burning here down on the apron of turn one.
Just inside the top 10, did the 92 of Ross Chastain get in the back of Parker Kligerman in the 58?
It appears that's the deal. Parker Kligerman, Phil, had driven up to the outside coming off turn 4 to lead that group that Ross Chastain was in the front of.
Another look, the 58 gets a little help from behind, turns inside and into that 35.
Yeah, wow. Hard hit for Mason Mingus.
He's a tough young man, and I know it's he's needing to be tough right now. That was a huge crash.
Look at the damage to that Mad Vapes truck, that Toyota.
There's some great driving that goes on during this crash, though. Joe Nemechek somehow snakes his way through this huge crash.
Did you see the safer barrier give when the 35 of Mingus hit it just about head on?
Riding along with the 31 of Ben Kennedy. Amazingly unscathed through that incident.
Oh, Bubba's so close to making it, but gets tied up in it. And look at Jeb Burton, under control, makes his way through the crash.
All around him.
Same with Caleb Holman there.
This is Joey Coulter.
Well, Joey saw it pretty early. He makes contact with Brian Eichler. Ooh, and a lot of damage. Along with Brendan Newberry in the 24.
See Joe Nemechek? He just kept on driving, made it all the way through the crash.
Competing in the NASCAR Toyota Series, but a big wreck on the front stretch.
Ben Kennedy slides out of line and slams the outside wall.
Still got him coming here. Just hold on. You're okay. Brakes, 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 brakes. You okay, Ben?
We heard Ben say, yeah, I'm good.
That is great to hear, because he took a shot out of the draft, nose first into the wall, and before he could get the truck under control, the back end came and slammed it as well.
Good to hear his voice say, yeah, I'm okay.
What happened? Nemechek just came down into us?
Yeah, Nemechek got into us there. Not sure what he was doing.
Was it me or was it him?
It was him.
That's something you rarely see is a single truck crash here at Talladega.
Great point.
That was just a lane change on the back straightaway that caused a big pileup earlier in the race, and now the racing looking a whole lot like it did earlier. Side by side, 2 peaking at 3 wide, and Ben Kennedy gets turned into the outside wall.
Oh, trouble. Ryan Newman, hard into the wall. Michael McDowell, hard into the wall.
Caution's out, caution's out.
Terrible crash.
look right over here, you can see like Ryan Newman overran that corner just a little bit. You see quite a few cars over there. Come back on the track. Contact between Biffle and Newman.
Yes, Biffle came back on the track. Newman was right there. Got into him and hard into that guardrail and the tires. Sends him back out in the middle of the track here into McDowell.
You see the rear end housing loose from the car and then it goes over the fence. That last impact for McDowell was the one that probably knocked the wind out of him.
It was Biffle coming back on the track that made Newman try to avoid running into him.
That's the leaders up in front of the incident. We'll see it unfold off the corner here.
See McDowell's car up on his side there.
Everybody on this 47 team's worked hard to get our car going. We did test
Start
here.
finish line. Logano comes down into Paul Menard. One car gets up on top of a group and goes flipping over and over, and the 30 lands on its roof. That's Parker Kligerman.
Cole Witt's teammate that just wrecked in that first caution.
Brandon Davis's team, Swan Energy, suddenly has 2 cars torn up. There's Dave Blaney with the single car 77 team.
Look at a coil spring there that's come out of one of these race cars, a rear coil spring.
All right. In the 30, Kligerman.
He's got to be careful, Mike. He cannot unleash his seatbelts or else he will fall down and hurt himself. He needs the safety workers to help him, hold him up.
As they come off turn number 4, that's Menard to the inside and Kligerman, the 30, to the outside.
Actually, Matt Kenseth in the 20 looks like he kicked up into Joey Logano in the 22 that turned him sideways.
Trevor Bayne, the 21, looked to me, Larry, like he was going to bump draft. Got him going. A lot of different looks here.
So Kenseth, the yellow car, right in the middle in front of Logano, right here. Trying to get with his teammate Kyle Busch, but comes back up. That tips Logano into Trevor Bayne. His nose catches Paul Menard, who plows into Kligerman, who gets up in the air on top of Menard's car. And who's that underneath? Black car.
That's the 83 car of Ryan Truex.
A scary crash. Here's our camera on top of the safer barrier right at start finish.
Safety fence is doing a great job.
Oops.
Did we lose our camera?
Yes, we did.
And Kenny, you've run this track so many times. That is one of the fastest places of this racetrack. And as Darrell has always pointed out, there's not a lot of banking there, and you're turning a pretty sharp turn.
Johnson to the outside, alongside his teammate Jeff Gordon in the 24.
Yeah, alongside his teammate Jeff Gordon. That just pretty much assures the 11 car that unless this 41 car, Kurt Busch, can get some kind of big move here off turn 4 like Kevin did. Oh, and there
Johnson
they go.
to the wall
They
with
wrecked.
the one of McMurray. 3, 4 cars around, one on its roof. One car hard into the wall.
That was
and it ends in flames and sparks.
Our front row sitter up here, he's got a torn up race car,
Martin
78
Truex
car.
Jr. Jimmy Johnson, he looks okay. Front end of his car on fire. McMurray crawls across the start finish line to earn a spot in the 500. The field is frozen as of the caution flag, and Jamie McMurray's car all torn up. 59.5 great laps, and then this.
Let's see what happens here. The 48 and the 24, they get side by side. Here comes McMurray. Menard had a fast car all day long, and here comes McMurray, and he just gets a little bit of piece of that 48. A lot like happened in the Unlimited. Looked like Jimmy's car just got loose and spun.
Look at Clint Boyer in that 15 car get up in the air.
Thing went all, it did a 360. Unbelievable.
Did a barrel roll and came right back down on its wheels.
And he'll cross the start-finish line because it goes all the way across the infield.
The race is over. Riding with Jimmy Johnson.
That car just stepped out a lot like it did Saturday night, Mike, when somebody got alongside of it. Man, and then he just nailed McMurray again. That was some hard hits there, folks.
That was a double-double for Jimmy Johnson. Here's another look. Just this little bit of contact right there between the 1 and the 48.
Yep, just enough brush on the back corner there to spin him around.
And watch the 78 Truex. He was going to start on the front row of the 500. And he jumps on the brakes but comes right into it and tears that car up pretty badly before it's all over.
Yeah.
Now, remember the Labonte brothers who were 30 seconds back of the field?
Yeah.
I believe they both drove their way into the 500 in this.
Yeah, unofficially, they're both in the top 15.
Oh, me.
Clint Boyer got enough air time to qualify for his pilot's license right here.
2x2. Middle's open. We're upside down. Fine, nothing else is going to hit you. Stay buckled in. Stay buckled in. Stay buckled in. Nothing else is going to hit you. You're not hitting anything. Turn left if you can. Turn left if you can. Turn left if you can. Finish the race. Start finish is at your pit box. Start finish is at your pit box. One more, a little bit more. Get your transponder back. Okay.
Outside lane, hanging tough here on the restart.
Oh, here we go.
Got trouble. That's Casey Kane that goes sideways. Joey Logano nowhere to go.
Oh my,
Clint
half the
Boyer
field
through
is
the grass. The big one at Daytona has happened at lap 97.
That is the huge one at Daytona.
Justin Allgaier.
Oh, and the
Denny
18
Hamlin,
gets on its roof.
and Kyle Busch rolls upside down.
It looks like the 16 got into the 5 a little bit too hard and just turned him. And man, talk about getting piled up.
Watch the 3 car when we get another replay of Austin Dillon come shooting up through the middle and trying to avoid the accident.
26 of Cole Witt just got into the 18 to turn him over.
And watch Danica in this outside line right here. She and the 2 car of Brad Keselowski. Wow, that 1 car's up in the air right there.
All 4 tires were off the ground.
He just launched.
It's
Just having a good old time over here. Just hanging around. Okay. Just stay buckled up. Let them get you hooked over here.